Or is it like goal
It's like
oriented?
4-on-4.
It's all 4v4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which kind of sucks, honestly.
does.
There's no
Video
free-for-all mode.
stream.
Free-for-all was always my favorite in the last one.
Video stream is live.
I tried the
Cool.
PvP and it was like pretty underwhelmed.
Really?
Yeah. It's just too, I don't know. It seems like the weapons are meant for the ones that I like or for range. And all the maps are like super close quarter combat.
Yeah, there's a couple of maps that do pretty well for ranged weapons, but like they completely like neutered sniper rifles.
Yeah,
It
that's
was-
my gameplay
Dude,
style.
like-
It's headshots at range.
D1 was like if you were good with the sniper, you would destroy everyone. And so they kind of overcompensated for that in D2,
Yeah.
where everything's real close range. Like fusion rifles, auto rifles work really well.
Yeah. I tried to switch it up, but I didn't have time, so I only
Yeah.
played
Hold
like
on,
2
Greg.
matches.
What's up?
Okay.
That was
It was
the
that.
Yeah, I know.
the
It
penis
sounded like
bump.
it wouldn't stop, like it was out of water.
penis bump is
Sorry about that.
going.
Yeah.
I didn't get blown out of the water. I mean, I didn't do well, but you know, until you learn the maps or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, like, and you can sort of know the maps, but I mean, as long as you keep a really close eye on your radar, that's pretty much all you
Yeah.
need, you know?
I
You
would-
can figure out how people are approaching
I
you
was
pretty
hoping
quickly.
for when I played Old Republic, they had this PvP scenario called the Hut Ball. And it was basically
Is where everyone gets together to dance slowly. The hut ball. Get it? No.
basically it was like
Yes, Jeff.
platforms were set up over a like a pit, and the pit there wasn't anything in it, but you'd fall down and you have to climb back out.
Right.
And then on the platforms there was like occasional like fire stuff, and it was
Right.
basically like a ball that you were throwing and trying to get across while everyone's trying to kill each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, when I started playing with the stupid, there's like 14 different scenarios of like grab an energy ball. I was like, oh, perfect. You can do hut ball with this. Nope.
Yeah. Nah, there used to be in D1 there was Rift was essentially like in the middle of the map there would be an object that you'd have to pick up and you'd have to dunk it in your opponent's area or whatever. And that was a really fun game if you were playing with people, but if you were playing in solo, it sucked because no one was ever organized.
It
But,
with glasses.
Oh, yeah, I grabbed some. I grabbed
There's one
some
right
for
there.
me.
And a dumper. There's the dumper. You just need like a trough that goes in the middle of the table, and there's a pipe that goes outside. Yeah, just a sink that.
You make an offhand comment like that, and then 3 weeks from now, John's like, "You guys, I spent $4,000."
You guys, we're synced.
Here's our dumper.
We're fully synced.
In sync.
We are in sync.
He installed a urinal and a sink, and so now we
Just pee in
never.
it.
Now we'd never have to leave this room ever.
And there's a pizza delivery box that just
There's a
opens up.
slot. Yeah, put a slot in the wall. That'd be amazing.
And then a bar for the door.
So we could never leave.
That's right.
There's also that new offshoot beer. I was going to give one to each of you guys, but if we wanted to do that
Sweet.
instead of the Highland Park or something.
Highland Park.
No, we haven't done
It's
Highland Park
okay.
in a long time.
One of them's a triple IPA. It's almost 12%.
That's too many IPAs.
That's
pretty
too
good.
many IP. Yeah,
But
That's a
that's a lot of hops. in there.
lot of sugar. God, that must have sucked doing that on that fucking brew house. Ugh. Blip, 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 blip.
Yep.
Are we good?
If it's the brewery, 13% is like the smallest beer they brewed that week.
Yeah, really. They're getting better about it now. Sort of. No, they're not. Are we good?
We recording? Got batteries?
yes, Greg, we're recording.
Welcome to Four Brewers. My name is Matt Becker, and as always, I'm joined by.
John Holzer.
Jason Harris.
And Greg Nagel.
And all of us are together all at the same time. This is great.
Finally.
Yeah, feels good.
Feels great.
Good. Feels good to be chilling with the homies.
Chilling with the Four Brewers.
You should have come to the beer festival, Matt. It was a hoot.
That was a good beer festival, dude.
Yeah, we should take a moment and talk about the Extreme Beer Festival.
Kind of a weak name for a beer fest, but
I'll drink vicariously through you guys.
Honestly, yeah. Like the whole time I've heard about it, I'm like, sounds lame. Extreme Beer Fest. We were, but it was actually really good.
That's cool.
A lot of cool beer. The brewers were actually there.
yeah.
It reminded me a lot of Firestone. Not quite as big, but there's also a lot of East Coast stuff. And
Yeah, Burial was there, weren't
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aaron,
yeah.
our friend Aaron, that used to be at Wicked Weed, is with Burial now.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey.
Good. Come up for her.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good beers, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a big Burial fan.
It was at CalMart, the California Market Center downtown, on the 13th floor. And I talked to the service guy that used to service that building for our company, and he said that floor is always like that. They have that there so you can basically, if you want to set up like temporary offices for something, or they use it a lot for like shooting stuff, like in an office kind of setting. So, but he said it's always empty and they just use it for whatever. And
They don't want to put anything permanent on the 13th floor.
no, I asked about that. He's like, no, it's just, that's the floor that they use. So
Just happened to be the 13th floor.
yeah,
I mean,
but
in
it
other
was-
buildings, if you're on the 14th floor,
You're on the 13th floor.
you're on the
Yeah.
13th floor.
yeah, but it was
I don't know that is that really
Shepherd,
that
rip.
prevalent?
not anymore.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
Really?
Used to be a thing.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, but
like the 50s.
yeah,
oh,
but
Back when the fear of 13 was real.
yeah, and a cool view of downtown LA. You're like,
That was a
you're,
great
You're in
view.
the middle of downtown LA, which is awesome. Air conditioning, like, I mean, it's almost wintertime here, so it's not that hot, but still, it's different for me anyway to go to a beer fest in California that's indoors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's
always
weird.
We
outside.
weren't out in
Yeah.
the hot sun.
Yeah.
You know, it was that was a pretty big win.
Yeah.
parking was easy.
Yep.
Getting in was easy. I thought it was going to be a shit show with elevators going up to a thing with a line of people, but it couldn't have gone faster.
That's cool.
My only complaint was food was a little lackluster. I mean, I had like a cheese board, which is rad, but like at a beer fest, I want
You want something
sort of
heartier.
Like, yeah,
I think Beer Belly was there with was it burritos? I
Yeah.
think like
Oh,
pre-made burritos that they brought.
that
And
seemed weird.
then there was the cheese plate thing, and I think there was Mexican food too. Like
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
only real like
Big
on-demand
line.
food, and it had like the bathroom situation was a little bit
Yeah,
rough.
I would say that could have been better.
It was about
too,
a
but-
20-minute wait to go pee.
yeah, that
Wow.
was my only complaint was the bathrooms. But life hack: just go down to the bottom floor of
Yeah,
the elevator
exactly.
to the lobby and use the bathroom in the lobby and come back up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can as a regular person, but we had media, so I think we could do it. But,
Yeah, it's some great beers too. Like I forget the brewery, but they had like a blueberry donut thing.
Yeah, that was Great Notion.
Great Notion, yeah.
Oh wait, no, Great Notion had the Booberry one.
Blueberry, that was what it was.
Yeah,
Blueberry.
yeah. Great Notion, known for their cloudy IPA, which they did have as well.
Yeah, I should have took better notes and maybe checked in on stuff.
I mean,
but,
the standout beers aren't really gonna surprise anybody, right? Like Degard was great.
Yeah,
Great,
that's some good
Great
stuff.
Notion had some really good.
we
beer.
also saw the most beautiful man in the world.
the
Allagash.
guy from Allagash.
oh my god,
Yeah,
yes.
literally, Jason's like, dude, you got to go see the guy from Allagash. And he was serious. And
He
was
looks like a blend of David Walker and Ben Affleck.
and I saw him.
that's a-
when
yeah.
I saw, I was just like, oh my god, this guy's beautiful.
And I was talking to if you follow old school beer, there's Hallie Bone was one of the beer chicks. They write books about homebrewing and stuff like that, and she was there. She's the rep, blonde lady, real nice. And I was like, so what's it like working with this beautiful man? She's like, no comment. And then it was like pouring beers. After
but he
that. It
really
was so
did look
funny.
like a cross between Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and he
David
could have been
Walker.
nicer too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so funny.
It was weird.
Yeah, he was tan and
Just had that
Just
had
flow.
a very nice jaw, I would
Yeah.
assume. Great jawline.
Great
sure.
hair. Like,
yeah, everything like, dude, you're in the beer business? What are you doing here?
Yeah, right. Speaking of great hair, Highland Park. There's no connection there at all.
Lots of people with great hair hang out at Highland Park.
The Hermosillo, known for its hair scene.
Sure.
An actual segue is we drove directly from the Extreme Beer Fest to the brewery, and that's where
Oh.
we picked this up.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Do we want to crack that?
Yeah, let's start with the Highland
right.
Park beer. We actually have some Chapman beers coming up that we're excited
All
about.
cans
But we're gonna
again, people.
Yep. Another all can show. That's
Fuck
true.
bottles.
Yeah. But we're gonna start off with some Highland Park beers
yeah,
because
this is bad for business. This is their entry into the 2017 LA IPA Fest put on by Mohawk Bend.
Which has, I think they won last year, right?
I believe so. Yeah. This has Simcoe and Mosaic hops in.
I think Highland Park won the
Classic.
year before last, and then second last year, and I want to say Noble won last year.
Okay. I don't know.
if only there was some way that we could find this information out.
I don't have a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's all
won
good.
1 year.
They've
so.
they've been in the top 3. I think almost every year they've been open.
And I think we might do Noble Beer on this show too. I don't know. Maybe. That'd be
I
cool.
If we're feeling frisky.
We have the one sitting right there.
Holy shit balls! This beer is semi clear, a little haze to it, not like a haze bomb or anything. But
So,
This is definitely a West Coast style IPA.
West
so
Coast.
fun fact, they did a no, Highland Park did win this last year. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and Noble was in second.
they did 2 beers that came out the same day. One of them was called Business, and it was a cloudy IPA. And then this beer is called Bad for Business, and it's a regular West Coast IPA.
All right.
Nice.
Which I thought was a fun little take.
Yeah. Last year was Highland Park in first, Noble in second. 2014, because there wasn't one in 2015 apparently. 2014 was Noble winning, and then Abigail of all people were in second, and then third place was Golden Road. But fuck them.
Fuck Golden Road.
And then Noble won first place in 2013 as well.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Noble knows how to make hoppy beer.
They can make some hoppy beer.
It smells smells pissy to me. It's got that cat piss.
Yeah,
hop thing
in a
happening.
good way.
It's like a cat pissed on a copper plate.
Really?
It's kind of like metallic-y, hoppy.
You guys are making this sound like the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say it smells
Piss,
great.
Metal, dog
piss and metal.
shit, baby diaper, burnt.
It's not what you're saying at all.
No, it's an acquired smell, man.
It does smell pissy, doesn't it?
It's kind of nice that
I definitely get pissy, but I also get a lot of like orange rind
Yeah, it's pissy oranges, like a cat peed on an orange.
in a good way.
Or a cat ate an orange and then peed. I don't know.
Well, maybe there's an orange on the ground. The cat peed on the orange. It's like
That was what he said the first time.
That's what I just said.
he just sprayed on it.
Oh, that's even worse.
His tail vibrated.
God. Thanks for the visual.
Yeah.
Real dry. Wow.
Super dry.
Super crisp.
It's kind of it's refreshingly like dry.
This is the first beer of the day, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. It's kind of a
And it's the morning.
honestly. I think it's a little tannic.
I don't know about that.
I would say this is a
This is damn good.
damn solid West Coast IPA, despite all the negative descriptors that have exclusively
come on
been
now.
used.
They weren't negative. Cat piss
What's
is a
cool
thing.
about West Coast IPAs, you can actually delineate like different hops on the nose.
exactly.
Like, oh my god, there is some cat piss in there, and oh my god, there is some blah blah blah. And like, I don't know,
Some bubble what?
some bubble gump.
Oh.
I don't know. I didn't say. I don't. Listen back, everybody.
At first I thought you said some bubble bomb, and I'm like, that's an interesting flavor descriptor.
Get some. Make your bubs bounce.
Make your bubbles bounce.
Fucking crowlers.
Make them
man.
bounce now.
This is awesome.
going
I've had
to
this
make-
beer for
It's
a
also-
week. You know.
It's also new that Highland Park has crowlers.
Yeah, they
So-
just. I
Oh,
think
really?
2
Yeah.
or 3 weeks ago they started doing the crowlers.
Which is
Wow.
convenient because I had forgotten my growler.
Wow.
So-
Yeah. Didn't want to buy another one.
Every brewery should have crowlers.
Yeah,
Like,
at this day and age.
I mean, not only just for the convenience of not having to bring a growler, but they're gonna sell more beer because if they don't have a crowler and I don't have a growler, I'm not gonna spend another $15 or whatever, $10 to buy a new growler to take some
Not only
beer
that,
home.
Yep.
Not only that, but
And it's
sometimes
wasteful. Like,
if I bring my glass growler in, I'm getting one beer out the door. If they have a crowler machine, I'm getting maybe 3 or 4 beers out
yeah,
the door.
it's
Yeah.
great.
Yep. How does everyone feel about using the crowlers for 16-ounce cans?
I love it.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree. I'm a fan.
It's more variety.
As long as they price it appropriately.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's weird the way takeaway beer pricing is and how weirdly acceptable it is. The same people that are like, $20 for a 4-pack of IPA? You gotta be shitting me. Anyhow, I'm gonna go buy a 32-ounce growler for fucking for
$20,
bucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I've
like
seen a few
growler
people.
pricing has long been fucking absurd.
Yeah.
Like a 64-ounce growler, which is what, a 5-pack of beer roughly, like routinely costs $25 or $30. It's like you gotta-
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pizza
Yeah,
port.
that's that super fresh to go price.
Pizza port is notoriously expensive. I think they're like cheapest growler prices. Like if you bring your glass back, it's an $18 fill.
Wow.
Really? I remember
Yeah.
the opposite with pizza port, where I was like, wow,
Maybe you got the homie hookup or something.
no, man, and it was
You got
Even they
you just got that
apologize for it.
you got that sexy dude hookup.
I was there once and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, it's $18." I was like, "Oh wow." Okay.
Were you
Were
buying
you getting bacon and eggs or something?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Were you
Nah,
buying?
I think just whatever stout they had on. I
it was
bringing
probably
to
bacon and eggs.
That was probably bacon and eggs then.
No, I think it was like an 8% stout. I don't
You're like,
remember.
it's 13%, and somehow it was expensive. I don't get it. It was weird, man.
So yeah, if you own a brewery and you don't have a crowler machine yet, invest in one. You're going to sell a ton more beer.
And there's
I
like
think.
there's a new one that just came out that's only like $3,000, which for a crawler machine is pretty cheap because I think the
That's a
other
good
one was
entry
like
point.
10 or something.
And
Yeah.
while we were at the Extreme Beer Fest, Drew Beecham was there from the Maltos Falcons.
Oh.
He's also an
And
author,
also, yeah,
has a
podcast.
podcast.
And a podcaster, yeah.
Yeah.
Experimental beers.
But I saw
Denny
this.
Con?
I saw this thing online. I don't know, about 7 months ago. But the Falcons bought their own crowler machine.
Really?
But it's like $600 or $700. The company that makes it, they specialize in canning food, but they also sell an adapter for it for cans, like
That's pretty dope.
aluminum cans.
Interesting.
So, but it has like a hand crank and a big wheel. Like
They
you
it hooks up to a
you gotta,
drill.
Well, you got to turn it like 30 times for it to seal, or you can hook a drill up to it and just use a drill. So,
Classic homebrewers, just hook a drill up to it.
Yep.
A drill's a motor.
So
Dude, you bust out your homebrew dick with your own homebrew in a can though.
dude, that's legit.
Would they have to buy a pallet of cans?
Nah,
I don't know.
Where are you going to buy cans in small volumes from?
you're gonna start seeing them in homebrew shops probably. I wouldn't doubt it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way.
Can
to
you
get
sell me
smaller.
some?
No, I can't.
Yeah, but he was talking about that they want to do a malt liquor too, and I'm like, I'm so for this.
Yes.
Oh, we got to hit him. If they do a malt liquor, we should see if we can meet up with him. Do
Oh,
you
do
know?
a CBC?
Yeah,
Dude, that'd be dope.
that'd be amazing.
Perfect tie-in.
Oh man,
Anyway, this beer's great.
Yeah, that whole tanning thing I was talking about kind of went away. I think it was just the fact that it was the first beer of the day.
Yeah,
This is
IPA,
really fucking
11
good.
o'clock in the morning, before lunch. It's going to come off a little like brash, but I think you warm up to it.
Yep.
Super aromatic. A little
Yeah.
on the thin side, too.
So the
Little
beer we
bit,
have
yeah.
from
But-
Noble is a stout, and I don't think we should drink that next.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
That's
let's,
a palate record.
Let's save that. 13% fuck off stout, too.
So we
Not
do
just
have,
stout.
we have 2 lagers and 2 hazies from Chapman Crafted Beer in Orange.
I think we should start with some lagers.
Yeah, let's start with Hello again.
One of them's
Hello.
a hoppy lager, and one's
just called to say hello.
one's hoppy and one's regular.
Yeah,
So
let's start non-hoppy. Let's palate cleanse.
Good
Shall
call.
we?
these are also in cans. These are 16-ounce
Look at how
cans.
clear that is. So, yeah.
They also do crowlers at Chapman, which is dope.
This was courtesy of Chapman, correct?
Yes, we got all these from Chapman.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Chapman
Thank you,
Crafted.
Brian. And we invited Brian Thorson down, who is the brewer
He
at
broke
Chapman,
his foot.
but he couldn't make it because he can't walk. So
I saw him talk about it and online. He was like, "Yeah, I broke my foot. It was a mountain bike accident." And he was like, "But it's not what you think. My mountain bike fell on my foot in my garage." I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, my God.
It wasn't even on the trail. We had the opportunity to hang out with Brian for a while when we were up in Sacramento.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
He-
Fun dude.
That guy's a hoot. It's like real smart, real sharp, kind of a weirdo, which I like.
Kind of hippie.
Yeah.
yeah, he said he does want to make it out here to be on the show sometime, and he's going to plan a hike for that day too.
Nice.
So
Right on. Yeah, he's a big hiker.
he's a hiker.
I think he's a Vibram shoe wearer, too. Maybe.
Is that the one with the toes?
Yeah,
the
for sure.
individual toes.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he wears Crocs.
Yeah, I think Vibram is a specific kind of sole. if I'm
Is
not
it?
mistaken.
Oh, I thought it was like the weird finger toe thing.
Uh,
Anyway, that'd be a good name for a beer is Vibram Toes.
oh, you're right. You are right.
Yeah, no, it's the brand. Greg was right. I nailed
Vibram.
it.
Vibram is also a type of sole, though. So
Vibram.
I'm
Stick
not.
your toes in it.
I'm not wrong on this.
Thinking about dipping your toes into Vibram? Start here.
Want everybody to look at your feet?
So
Do you want to look like your fucking clown shoes?
So this beer, you guys.
Yeah, this is a lager. It is very clear and very light, lightly colored.
What's it called
looks- this is Hello Again.
Hello. I feel like I can't tell if there's floaties or just some shenanigans.
Yeah, you got maybe the last pour, so
Yeah, I think
would
we
assume you
got a little
some-
bit.
a little bit of.
I think there's a couple fish flakes in here.
So this is a German style pilsner. Is that
it
correct?
doesn't say.
Or it
just
says-
says
well,
Hell
lager.
is on
Yeah,
Untapped.
Untapped says hell is. Beer Advocate says pilsner. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah, who knows? The can just says lager. IBU's
This-
10.
It's. I
I
think
would
it's.
say Hellas.
Yeah, it smells more like a Hellas.
5.3%.
Tastes
Crisp,
kinda like a-
refreshing, and friendly.
Tastes kind of like a pilsner.
Well, it's not as hoppy though.
It's got some bitter bite though.
bitter bite
It's got some big boy.
and shit. and Chapman Crafted coming to the mound with some bitter bite. I don't know what.
It's got some it's like a honey buttered biscuit sort of vibe to it. Real crisp and refreshing. I don't notice any flaws.
Super dry.
This is definitely a beer you want to drink at 11 in the morning. Like, not being sarcastic.
This is lawnmowery.
You're just
Honestly, I want to have this beer with some eggs Benny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this would cut through some hollandaise like a motherfucker.
I saw there was a place up in Fullerton that has a soft crab eggs Benedict.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Sounds so good, dude. And like the actual soft crab is on top.
I think the last time I had Eggs Benedict tying into beer was at Taps.
Oh, nice.
Taps, if you're anywhere in Southern California, they have a few locations, and they have the best brunch that you'll ever go to.
Especially as a beer nerd, for sure.
I mean, to be honest, the problem they've always had is you go there and they're like, oh, we have like 3 beers or like whatever. Like, I don't know, their beer is kind of arbitrary.
It's like Irish Red, Pilsner, and maybe an IPA or something.
Yeah, they've always been kind of like, I have never actually been to the one in Brea, which is the original one, right? I've been to the one in Corona a couple of times, and the food is fantastic, but the beers always kind of come off as like kind of standard brewpub beer. You know,
Sure.
You have like a couple of lagers, you got an IPA that's but everything was very well executed. That's what they do.
for sure.
They're well-made beers, but it feels like they don't take chances. They are just kind of like, it's a very conservative beer list for sure.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, but then again, they also do
they're-
like some really big barrel aged stuff. That's really great.
Aren't they
Yeah,
opening
the Silent Word.
an actual brewery?
That's what I was just going to
They
say.
are.
The brewery in their press statement said that they wanted to reestablish relevance in the craft beer world, and I think they want to get back to really making some like awesome beers and kind of refocusing their standard crowd, because I'm Taps has this like perception of like an older crowd, so they make older style beers to bring the clientele in. But
it's funny because that seems to be an issue with like a lot of older breweries, is they kind of are like, well, this is our clientele, so we're
And
going
then you
to
have
keep
guest
brewing
taps.
beers for this clientele. Yeah, and then you have guest taps for like the weird stuff, but it makes you more risk averse when you're like, well, we make these beers and we have steady income, so why take off?
the place is packed.
Yeah.
Don't change it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why would we take off this beer that we've been making for 10 years just to put on something uncertain? You know?
And that brunch, though, it's got everything. They've got a taco bar. They've got a whole breakfast section with your breakfast standards. They've got like cheese and charcuterie over here. They got some seafood over here. It's like all over the whole fucking restaurant. It's like you in here, you got some cheese. Like, yeah, but did you go down the steps? It's like, oh shit, no, there's a taco bar down the steps.
Let's do a show
But
next time.
and then go up and to the left and you've got your soft scramble.
There's a cigar lounge.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Oh shit.
I didn't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not into cigars. Unpopular opinion. It looks like a big poops in your mouth.
I haven't had a cigar since I quit smoking cigarettes. Well, that's a lie. I think I've had like one, and it doesn't appeal to me in the same way.
I tried and I just don't get it. I mean, I understand. It's like beer. Some people don't understand why I like so many different kinds of beer.
It's an acquired taste.
I just don't get it. For me, it's like I'm forcing myself to do this thing I don't want to do, and I don't know why.
And you also don't really smoke much of anything else, right? I mean, you smoked cigarettes for a while, but
yeah, I smoked cigarettes for 10 years. So it's not like I'm not familiar with tobacco,
right?
But man, it just seems like a lot of work.
But you can get like a real thick one and then put it between your teeth and be like, yeah, I'm chewing a big poop.
And you can be like, nah,
Yeah.
nah, see.
Nah.
Nah, got my stogie. Got my
Like you get that's how you show your wealth. You flaunt your wealth by getting a real thick poop cigar and then put it in your mouth, and you're just like, I'm so rich.
My favorite. You guys remember the movie That Thing You Do?
Yeah.
My favorite moment in that movie is when they're on stage about to play, and Tom Hanks look over and he goes, "The portly gentleman sniffing his stogie, so and so radio," and he's just like doing the whole like he's got a giant poop under his nose. You know, it's great.
All right.
But all that being said, Taps. Taps does a great brunch. Also speaking of Benedict's, I had Benedict only instead of ham it was lox.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm a fan.
Boy, howdy, was that fantastic! I forget where it was.
Salmon, dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
This beer that we were drinking is great.
I drank it.
I'm done.
It's in the past tense.
Yeah,
It's
this is
in my
good,
belly.
great beer.
We're all
My
sitting
belly
around
seems
waiting.
to be happy with it.
Sitting around waiting for the next round.
This is like an immensely drinkable beer. I could drink 2 liters of this beer.
Yeah, that's a 2-liter beer for sure.
I like that it's got a nice malt character to it. It's just not all about the hops. There's
This
some
is
nice.
That's biscuity cracker.
a great beer for someone who wanders into a brewery and has no idea what to drink.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
it's not offensive. It's not over the top. It's
It's
a
a
very
it's a little
craftable.
sweet, but a little bit malty. There's like someone said honey biscuit, and it's very much like kind of like a honey nut Cheerio kind of. Not Cheerios and that weird whatever that fucking weird off flavor is, but
I mean, I hear a lot people go into breweries that don't know anything about beer. They'll get a lager. I heard it yesterday at Bootleggers in Redlands when I was there. They had El Chapo on tap. They're a Mexican lager, and people say, "Hey, this tastes like Bud Light. This tastes like Budweiser," and they're just saying that because that's what they're familiar with. And I think that's a good thing when they can say,
Cross
"Hey, this
those lines.
reminds me of this," because that means they probably like it and they're going to come back for more. So
Absolutely.
it's cool to have a beer like this for people who are new to craft beer.
So we just poured some yes chef with an exclamation.
is that a reference to something?
Well, I
or-
would assume Will D is like half owner of Chapman Crafted, and Chef Greg Daniels over at Haven, which Will D is also a partner in. I would assume that Chef Daniels enjoys himself some hoppy lager, and he said, "Give me one of those." And as a joke, he said, "Yes, chef."
There's apparently
Which is like a kitchen
5 different beers in Untapped called Yes Chef. So
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's the common response when you are in a kitchen and chef tells you to do something. You either say, yes, chef, or if you're in a
You
French
yell it.
restaurant, you say, oui, chef.
Really?
Yes, chef. Oui, chef.
Huh.
As in,
I
yes.
watched Chef's Table for a long time, and they never did any of that. There was like lots
That's
of like,
because that show was too busy jerking itself
there's
off.
a lot
That's
of like
why.
real dramatic classical music playing and like
Lots of slow-mo.
very slow motion,
Slow
close-ups.
panning,
Yeah.
yeah.
So on Untapped, they're calling this an,
Dude,
an IPL.
yeah,
It's 5.8%.
50 IBU.
I'm not sure.
mean, it
Where's the
smells-
range for IPA go? Like for alcohol?
IPA starts at like 6.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
6.3. Yeah.
I've never liked IPL as a descriptor. It
Hoppy lager is
I
such
think
a
it's
better
accurate.
term.
I mean, it can be once you get up to a certain range. I mean, if you're literally taking an IPA and using it lager yeast, I mean,
And it's a
I don't
IPA.
think it's it feels like the yeast change isn't distinct enough that you really need to make a fucking distinction. It's like
I don't know, man.
I mean, India Pale Ale.
I guess yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're being accurate as to what the beer is. It's
And I mean,
Yeah,
it does give it a different texture. I mean, because lager yeast literally ferments different kinds of sugars, and so you get like a drier, like crispier kind of mouthfeel to it.
and that's
So-
what I get from this. And it's also got a smoothness to it, like a softy.
A softie.
Yeah, but as
be a
I'm
A
saying,
soft, pillowy kind of mouthfeel.
This thing has a super like orange Julius kind of nose.
So the hops are El Dorado and Centennial.
Centennial. Yeah,
I can see that.
That's that Centennial citrus.
It's like a sugary orange. Is how it smells.
Yeah,
to me.
Centennial for me is
yeah,
that
for me.
tangerine thing.
Almost like a mandarin.
Yeah, honestly, this
Yeah,
this
that's a
reminds
good
me
call.
of Two Hearted in the nose. Is what it reminds me of.
Put lactose in it. It could be a milkshake.
See, Centennial to me always registers as pine.
Really?
Really? I get the tangerine
Which
more
I
than
think
anything.
we've had this discussion
We have,
before.
more
where
than once.
You're like, pine out of Centennial? I'm like, yeah, Centennial pine trees. Like, that's what I get. And like, I drink all Centennial beers. I'm like, this is super piney. I love it.
Yeah, it always comes off as
Fruity Pebbles, sort of.
yeah, really orangey to me, like orange, like grapefruit rindy type thing.
Yeah, this is.
Do you mean
solid,
figgy
man.
stones?
I don't know if the hops change on this beer too from release to release.
Ooh,
I don't know if they
better.
swap it out.
That is very hoppy, and that is super good.
That's really good.
It does have that kind of, like I said, like a mandarin character to it.
Yeah.
It
has that character where
sweet orange.
It's like ni hao.
I was gonna say that it has that character where in the end you find out that it's not actually that guy; it's someone else.
It's like Jackie Chan in the mouth, like psh, like kicking you like in a karate movie.
Remember when Jackie Chan used to like do karate in movies, and he wasn't just a bad actor?
he wasn't just like jumping around and he wasn't doing just parkour.
understand the words coming out of my mouth?
He doesn't even do that anymore. He's just a bad actor. So it's like Jackie Chan. He's just like, I don't speak English well. Like,
Oh, dude!
great,
Like, did you
thanks.
my kid is just obsessed with Legos, and so we went and saw the Ninjago movie. God, was that a piece of trash?
Oh, I'm sure.
Was
was the
There's so many
worst.
good people in it.
It was,
Doing the
yeah,
voices.
it was a massive waste. But Jackie Chan was the sensei, and it was very like you can tell he was struggling a little bit with the voice acting. But
He's
but
bad
yeah.
at acting too, but somehow it's just been like, look it, he's Ford, isn't
He's
that
Jackie
funny?
Chan, yeah.
And like that's like the thing, like since like Rush Hour, they're just like, look how foreign he is.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it.
yeah, no, dude.
Also, I hear he's like the equivalent. He's very much China's equivalent of Chuck Norris, because like in
whoa, because he never ages.
because in China he's like the super pro communist government, pro like Chinese
real?
government guy. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like in Chinese people are kind of like, yeah, he's like very much like Chuck Norris, who became like super hardcore like conservative guy after being a martial arts star. He is that in China.
He's a big fan of Xi Jinping.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the president of the Communist Party in China.
I didn't.
no
I,
idea.
I
Read a
didn't know
book,
that.
assholes.
Why would we know that? How do you know
Nobody
that?
knows China.
What?
other than Matt Becker.
Listen to the news.
Oh,
I don't
God.
know.
Yeah, because he's always in the news.
China.
What?
Xi Jinping.
They don't say Xi Jinping. They just say China.
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 Oh, yes, chef.
China's
Fucking amen.
kicking our ass. China.
Yes, chef. This is a damn good beer.
Seriously, this beer I could drink 2 liters of as well.
Like, if you ask me what my favorite styles of beer were, I would definitely say Saison and a hoppy lager. Like, I would be happy if I was on a desert island somewhere and I had kegs of
Surrounded
those
by
too.
Saison and Hoppy Lager.
I would be like stoked.
Pulling Hoppy Lager off the lager tree.
This
Exactly.
really,
Just
this is
rip cans all
really
day.
hitting the right spot for me.
God,
Like,
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
Dry,
great.
crisp, hoppy on the nose. Like, it's got everything that my palate craves.
Yeah.
Yep. This
Yeah.
is a good way to
If I
start
was a
this
cat,
session.
I would
Definitely.
crave
it's what
this.
plants crave.
Hoppy lager. It's what plants crave.
Southern California beer, man. We are living in the golden age. This is great.
What I
We,
love
we are
about
so spoiled, aren't
This
we?
is awesome.
We are spoiled as fuck, man.
We have beer in cans from every brewery. It's all good.
Yeah,
for
and
the
it's
most
good.
part. Just happy.
What's cool about Chapman is I think they kind of fly under the radar in Orange County.
They do.
I don't know if that's from a can art perspective, because the can art is very, I'll say, very generic.
Yeah,
They're
simplicity.
They're new for starters.
Yeah.
The cans are simple, like as far as the labels go, and I think you can do simplicity correctly or incorrectly. Like when it's too simple and boring, then it's incorrect. But when
This
it's
is very-
simple and interesting, like other half, then it's awesome. And this is kind of in the middle, I think. But
could
it
be
doesn't really
flashier.
matter to me personally. But yeah,
All right, so
Um,
Oh,
I
I don't
honestly-
want to go to the next beer. I want to enjoy this one.
I really
Well,
feel
we
like
can-
what Chapman's been suffering from so far is just that they're, one, new, and two, they're not necessarily. I mean, I guess they're doing a hazy IPA, right? But they haven't had like a hype beer that's broken them out, and
Yeah.
so
They're underexposed.
if you're an Orange County brewery without a crazy hype beer, I mean, you're just one of dozens of really good
Right.
breweries. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about Rip a couple times, but they kind of fly under the radar too.
super another. Yeah, I mean, Huntington Beach is kind of on its own thing. I just recently did a top 10 beers of 2017, and this beer was my number 7. This is Thank You for Your Service Hazy IPA.
number 7, huh?
Number 7.
Damn, dude.
Out of 10.
This is made with Galaxy Citra and Amarillo hops.
Nice. That's a good combo.
Galaxy is the haze hop
Yes, it
du
is.
jour.
This was made in for I think Veterans Day is when it was released, so it's got a little bit of age on it, but I think it still drinks really nice.
It's funny.
It smells great.
These hazy IPAs, like we've talked about it
still
too,
hazy.
how they're not shelf stable and they don't last, and you got to drink
Yeah.
them super fresh. I don't think that's true. They
I mean, this-
they tend to last pretty much 2 months, 3 months, just like a regular IPA.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
yeah.
I haven't had one that's that old before.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
curious
part
what
of
Jason
the trick
thinks of
is
this
you don't
beer.
see him.
If you watch,
yeah.
if you
This is your
watch
first
Joe,
time
It
having this.
smelled really good.
if you watch Joe's channel, Joe's Arcade, Joe Senegalia, most of the IPA he's doing, I mean, I'll say half of it is over 6 weeks old.
No kidding.
And he says he has a hashtag team old IPA, just because he
funny.
has so much and he just waits to do reviews on it because he can't get to it, and it holds up fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this beer, it still is like bursting with tropical, sort of like overripe mango and
It definitely has the good side of the haze look. It looks just kind of like a
pale
like
haze,
a cloudy wheat. There's hazy and there's murky, and I don't know what the line is, but this is just.
I think this is hazy.
It's hazy. It's cloudy. It's not like you have some where the beer becomes like fucking practically opaque. You're just like,
well,
wow.
you have. I think when it starts looking like actual orange juice,
Yeah.
or it's just
milkshake.
You can still see light through this. But yeah, milkshake. When it gets to that milkshake status, that's
when
where
it looks white. I'm
it's
like,
weird.
When it gets full milkshake duck. You guys heard the term milkshake duck?
Nope.
I don't know if Reply All made it up or it's just a Twitter thing or whatever. But so the gist of it, and I love it. It's like
I heard this.
It's a very useful term. It's basically so they summarized it with it was on Reply All, which you guys listen to, but they summarized it with, check out this video of an adorable duck drinking a milkshake. Turns out the duck is racist. And it's just describing the arc of every any person.
Well, it's like that kid that was crying.
He got full milkshake duck.
Or
the bullying kid.
Yeah, or
Ken Bone.
Ken Bone. Yeah, that's the classic example.
Yep.
It's just like,
is when you
this
think
guy's great. Look at this funny thing they did, and it's like, the internet plowed through the whole history of their life, and it turns out they did something bad once. So now we hate them.
Turns out they were racist or something.
Turns out they like weird porn. So fuck them. We hate them
exactly.
now.
Oh,
It's like that kid that was the crying kid about getting bullied. Like,
Got full milkshake duck.
but at the same time, he was still bullied, and that's still not good. And
Now
I'm
he's
still,
bullied by everyone.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, you guys are just what you were just crying.
Maybe he deserved it.
Crying about watching this video. Now you're doing it to him. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you, people.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, best just like let internet stuff go sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Jesus.
The internet was, is a pretty good idea, but it's over now.
Yep.
It's done.
Thanks, a
Hang it
jit
up.
pie.
Yeah,
Piece
now,
of shit.
now that we're gonna have to be, people are gonna have to pay an extra fee to listen to this podcast now.
Yeah, it's not that. It's all about throttling and paid prioritization, basically. And
Yeah, I mean everyone's using the like the Portugal example, but that would be a really drastic change as far as like how people are billed,
Yeah.
and so it's really more about like if you use Comcast and Comcast has its own streaming service, then they're going to be throttling Netflix.
kind of, yeah.
Or they'll honestly, what we're seeing a lot more, and it benevolently, but not so much, is that it'll be Verizon starts charging you per gigabyte that you use, but if you're using their in-house stuff, then it's free.
They don't charge you,
And
Got
so
it.
you're disincentivized from using Netflix or whatever because
That's what
you can use
T-Mobile does.
Verizon streaming for free, right? Except T-Mobile's not using it for their own media.
Right, well, they're partnering with people
They don't
to do
own
it.
the content.
But
yeah.
it's
Which
the same
it's
thing,
still the same
basically.
idea.
yeah.
You know,
They're still getting paid by the content providers to prioritize.
I don't know. It's a
Right.
whole
It's actually a
thing.
voluntary thing.
There's
It's-
arguments that they shouldn't be under Title II for whatever reason because it's the wrong agency to regulate the internet, and which
That's
is kind
all
of what
horseshit.
the FCC is saying now, or what a GPI, whatever, however you say his name, is saying. He thinks everything should be regulated by the FTC instead of the FCC, but. What it comes down to is...
It's kind of weird that the FCC chairman is saying we should, regulate this communications
when it
platform.
first passed, Tom Wheeler, he was the former... what do you want to call it?
He was the former chairman of
The
the
head
FCC.
former chairman, yeah.
I think he was also a lobbyist, or he worked for
the
telecom.
the telecom lobby.
But there was such an outcry about net neutrality, and he actually took it seriously. He was like, I saw the comments, and people are passionate about this, and I think the right thing to do is to cover it under Title II. So he did it. And anyway, I don't want to get into the whole...
Isn't it weird when someone actually goes and listens to the public?
And then turns out a lot of the comments, like supporting the change back to Title I. I think it was Title I. Back to basically being an information service rather than a communication service.
Right.
A lot of those were fake. They were names and addresses from people that are dead.
Oh shit.
There's a site you can go to check to see if your name was used.
Really?
In any of those with
Oh,
your
shit.
address.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, because all that stuff is public, or it's available to the public.
So they can essentially just enter your name and phone number into this form to make a comment. Yeah.
So it's
Yikes.
And they did.
Yep. Hey, Greg, what you got there?
Hazy Bell, Hazy Bell.
forgot about the bell.
I got to get an air horn.
Yeah, it needs to follow that. Like, Hazy Bell, Hazy Bell.
Can you imagine how fucking loud that would be in here?
Oh, very. Extremely.
Hey, we have headphones. It's all good.
We have some kind of protection.
Your neighbors are like, what the fuck is happening over there?
Dog loses his fucking mind.
They got a Hazy Bell
Oh,
there.
poor Betty.
That's a great name for a dog, by the way. Hazy Bell.
Oh,
More of a name for a cow.
Hazy Bell, come in, Hazy Bell.
Have we talked about this beer at all?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
actually.
I want to
And
hear
it's-
Jason's thoughts
we
on it
haven't
because
really-
I still think this is really holding up well.
It is holding up pretty well. The aroma is a little light. I feel like it probably was bigger. But Galaxy Citra Amarillo, again, like every hazy beer, it all just kind of has that haze hop.
What do you think of the mouthfeel and finish on it?
I feel like the body's a little light. You know,
That's
like
kind of what I liked about it.
yeah. I mean, it's not astringent and it's not excessively bitter,
And it's not,
which is
gritty.
great. What's up?
It's not gritty either.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
got a very fruity finish. Like it lingers in your palate, like with like a juiciness. You know, like God damn it, that's fucking. You feel like
It's
such
impossible to avoid.
You feel like such a cliche using the same
Right.
like 3 words to describe this
Yeah,
fucking
it's
beer.
it's true though. But the what ABV is this?
6.5.
6.3.
6.3. So yeah, it's right in that like very bottom of the IPA range. It almost feels more like a hazy pale ale to me, you know, but it's still really good.
I thought it was
I'm
like
enjoying
super
it.
drinkable.
Drinking this alongside the Highland Park IPA. I mean, I'm still a fan of the West Coast IPA.
Same.
Like
We grew up
these
on
are
them.
fine, but
You mean the Best Coast IPA?
man, good West Coast IPA is so awesome. Like, ugh.
And it's like it's something that we all kind of came up on as far as well, maybe not Greg. He's a little bit he was a little bit ahead of us.
Yeah, German
But,
beers.
Greg
Yeah.
grew up with, they put the stuff
Belgian.
in clay pots and they would just let it naturally, whatever would happen. And
He
then
drank he drank only Stein beer.
I helped
they
build
would
the
actually- they would
pyramids with that
actually-
beer.
yeah, yeah.
They would
Thank you very much.
chew the barley and spit it
That's
into a
the
bowl.
chicha.
Yeah, they
We should
actually
make our own chicha.
They had that
They-
at Extreme Beer Fest, but I was like, fuck that.
yeah.
I've had chicha before. It's good.
It's good.
Every house had their own stick
Yes.
that they fermented
magic
with.
stick.
The magic stick.
Oh, did
Yeah.
we forgot to mention that I was really trying to work up the nerve to go talk to that guy from the Dogfish Head.
Yeah, Sam Calagione was there.
Sam Calagione was there, but then also the
other guy, the
other
rapper?
brewer guy. Yeah, I was like, "Are you that guy from the rap video?" I was like, "John, I should go to him and say, are you that guy from that rap video?" And he's like, "Do it." And then I was like, "Nah."
He's like,
I,
"Nope."
I chickened out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The pain relief.
that's one reason that I'm kind of in a way glad that I didn't go because I didn't know who I would mouth off to or who would like know
I said hi to
me
Sam.
for being that like you're that guy who mouths off all the time.
I said hi to Sam. He goes, "Happy EBF, Happy Extreme Beer Fest."
PBF, bro.
That's what he said. I was like,
It's very
All right.
a very genuine and personalized response from Sam Calagione.
Thanks, bro.
"Hey man, haven't seen you in 7 years." No, just Happy EBF. He doesn't remember me,
I don't remember you,
even though he bought me dinner.
and he never called you again.
What an asshole!
I will
He
take
ghosted
your
on
mother,
you.
Dorothy Mantooth, out to a nice steak dinner, and I'll never call her again.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
We're moving on to Balancing Opposites, a hazy double IPA coming in.
Scared me.
Hazy Bell, come in, Hazy Bell.
Shoot it!
Hazy Bell, come on in. It's time to eat.
Hazy Bill!
The chuck wagon's ready.
This is a Galaxy Amarillo and Yucca Nut.
You can nut.
Because it's not Equinox.
I can
it's,
nut.
It's Yucca Nut.
I want to.
It'll make you nut.
This is their newest, and it's the freshest. I think this is a week old.
Yeah.
You cannot hit her. You cannot.
You cannot. Oh, hi, Mark.
Have you guys seen Disaster Artist yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I need to go see it.
Yeah,
So,
same.
Jason, you were just talking about Merc versus Haze. I think this is more Merc
I feel like this is like right smack in the middle. This is about as hazy as you can haze without being
It is
murky.
pretty. It does absorb all light like a black hole.
It's not vibrant, like the, I guess, less dense hazy IPAs.
So what's different about this guy? It is probably higher alcohol. it's a double
like
IPA.
8.25.
It's got that kind of a cake batter smell.
Lush mango.
Tastes like cake batter too. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my kid's 11th birthday yesterday, and I actually had some cake. I normally don't eat cake, but definitely cake batter, man.
Yeah.
And I think the fundamental
cake batter.
difference, we were talking about the hazy IPA versus West Coast. I don't drink beer to have a sweet treat. It is not something I drink for sweetness generally.
What about pastry stouts and stuff?
I don't like those very
you don't?
much.
Yeah, I don't
No,
like 'em
like
either.
I appreciate them. I'm like, oh, these are neat, and then I've got 70 of them sitting in my fucking closet that I never want to drink because I don't.
It's like a
wanna actually-
virus. They just appear. I don't
Yeah.
know. I spent money on this.
I stopped buying stouts. I refuse to buy stouts anymore. I'm like, until I drink my cellar, I'm not buying stout ever again.
I like oatmeal stout.
Yeah, I like lower ABV stout. Even though I just made a big ass stout and
Did
put
you
it in the
see
barrels.
Mocha Merlin is in Sixers now?
Yeah, man.
Mocha
So
Merlin.
good.
That's pretty
Mocha
dope.
Merlin is good too.
So
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
goddamn.
I'm a fan of the pastry stouts. I like sweet beers. I like dry hoppy beers. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't hate them, but my go-to, like when I'm drinking beer, I want kind of something dry, something with a bite.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Saison.
Yeah, I gotta be.
lager.
I gotta be in a specific mood to have something sweeter, and I usually don't want a whole bottle too. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
When I was in Redlands yesterday, like I went to Bootleggers, Ritual, and Escape Brewing. I went to Ritual. I had one IPA, and like I think at Boots I had two IPAs, and I remember sitting there going, I am sick of IPA right now. Like I need something dark, so I got a brown ale, and it was fucking delicious. It was
Right
just
on.
like, this is a great change
What
of
was
pace.
the name
Really
of
hit the
the brown?
spot.
It was like Rock, or no, not Rocco's. That's Rocco's Red. What's the
It
brown?
was this was at Ritual.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not
They have a brown?
I like
Oh,
browns.
yeah, they have the
it was something in something. That's what it's.
love and malt.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Browns don't
This-
sell, so people don't make them.
No,
Unfortunately.
and I mean, I honestly, I wanted a stout, but the only stout they had was their, imperial.
Beer not selling has never stopped Ritual.
So,
Well, yeah, that's a whole other story.
Well, I mean, when you make 30 barrels of it at a time,
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
man. Roasted. This beer is super fucking sweet. On that note, it has a very like candy like flavor, like a sweet tart almost. Not quite a sour, but like or almost like a Smarties,
It is very candy-like.
like a Smarties candy. It's good. Again though, like when I go to a beer, I'd rather have like dry floral stuff like that kind of note, and the sweet kind of the sweet kind of finish. It gets overpowering and kind of cloying after a little while.
this is a good half pint beer. I think
I'm not big on double
Yeah.
IPAs anymore. I mean, which breaks my heart because, like Noble makes the shower series. And I'm like, man, could you do like a 7% version of that? Because I would be all over it.
Yeah, I really remember the like. You haven't heard this in a few years anymore, but it used to be like, if you don't like IPA, try double IPA because the alcohol gives it more sweetness and it balances it out. And people would be like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm super drunk.
he's totally right.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I've heard a few.
That
people
was like
say
the
that.
common wisdom where it was like, try double IPAs because they're a little bit sweeter and they'd be more to your liking.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's just
I think-
backwards logic to me.
I think that's
don't
to
know.
the era of like your Dogfish Head 90 minute, like
Yeah, when it was like way more caramel malt and
yeah.
higher bitterness, but it was all like a lot more. It was thicker and richer and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like the higher alcohol you get, the drier it gets.
Are we due for just doing Dogfish Head beers again?
No.
I liked Sequench at the fest.
Sequench is really good beer.
I am down to do dogfish beers.
Their core line beers are actually, like I've said 19 times on the show, actually gotten pretty good. I was like, they're one of the few big brands that we haven't, I think, featured, right? We've done them in like weird stuff, like, and you probably still have 14 old bottles of weird ancient ales, right? Or did you get rid of them all?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about do you have the music ones, like the music?
I think
collaborations?
I
Miles
think
Davis
he's
or
drank
something?
those because I've seen those on the minis a bunch.
I have a bunch of the old ones. Yeah, they're probably
Yeah.
not good. But
But we could throw those in, fuck it.
what was I going to say?
That's kind of ironic. Ancient ales and like they're old.
They're too old to drink.
You
Too
can.
ancient.
Did you see? You could buy a case of 120-minute IPA
Yeah, I
at
saw that,
Costco for $200.
Yeah. What? So
Yeah.
dumb.
$7 a bottle.
I was at the liquor store by my house
pass.
last week, and some dude's all, "Oh my god, they have 120-minute." He's like, "They only limit you to one bottle, though. Would you buy one for me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I guess."
Was he like out front of the liquor store as like a
No, he was
16-year-old?
It was like an old dude like me. It was like, "Really? You're not going to buy one for yourself?" And he's like,
I just picture
"No,
like a
man.
very beer knowledgeable teen who's just like, "Hey, old man,
I want like continuous hops."
hey, old man, this beer. I heard this beer's got the best hop profile. Anyways, I'll give you $20 and you can keep the change if you bring it out to me."
My God, we used to pimp beers when we were like 16. That brings back memories. So much fun.
How does selling beer work? Like, if I wanted to just start selling beer online, is that something I could do?
Not really.
Because
Not without a license.
I watch a guy
Yeah,
on YouTube.
you have to have a certain license for it.
Yeah, that's why. But there is a license for it. Brian,
Yeah, you have to have a
Brian-
retail license.
Brian Mujati, he's a rugby player. He's from Zimbabwe, but he lives in the UK. He has aletavern, I think, .com. And he's just a beer geek, and he acquires beer, and then he has a storefront, and he sells it online. I think he has the right licenses and stuff.
Well,
but-
that's the UK. They probably are just like,
That's what I thought,
Have
too.
some freedom, mate.
yeah, that's why I thought the rules are more lax over there or something.
Yanks think they're free, but we're actually the most free.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, being European, you would think they would clamp down more, but then again, the British with their liquor laws, they've had like interesting liquor laws for fucking 3,000 years or however long they've been around.
You just pour that back in the can.
Yeah. I mean, the dumper is too far.
You could have asked for a pass.
Jesus Christ,
We could have
Greg.
scooted it your way,
Now it's a thing. Now
We're
I'm
like
embarrassed.
we're like one beer in, and Greg's like, I can't fucking do it, man.
It's too far.
I mean, I like the beer, but I'm not. It's a
We need to put
8.2%.
attach dump buckets
Before
to the
lunch.
feet of the table, so it's right there. You can just dump it like that, and it's nice and convenient.
A little dumper for each.
And then hook them up to a hose that goes to a bigger dump bucket.
I think we just get a drain right in the middle of the table, and then channel it out. Get plumbed. We were
sink.
talking, I think, off mic that we need to get a sink,
We could have a sink in the middle of the table.
and a urinal in here.
We need a tiki bar,
A pizza
bar,
a
yeah.
pizza
with,
slot.
with a bartender to make
So-
drinks for us.
Was it? We were talking about tiki drinks, and I was like, you got to drop like $300.
Just to make
probably $400. I was looking at
3-4
to
drinks.
get like a core set of like 5 drinks.
Yeah.
You need like $400 worth of ingredients.
That's why tiki bars exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, making.
And I'm
making
not that like if I was gonna commit that much money to something like I it's not my fucking.
You might as well
favorite.
get a job at a tiki bar. You know
just
what I mean?
mugs alone. You're gonna
And then tell your friends
fall
to come
down that
over.
rabbit hole.
Yeah.
and you'll.
I feel like there are certain things that you just have to go out for.
Yeah,
I think
that's the
tiki
perfect
drinks are
example.
one. Like Indian food is another. Like they cook it in a certain way that you kind of have to go out. It's hard, really, really hard to
Yeah,
do it
you
on.
really can't make your own Indian food. It's not
you
like
know, I've only made my own Indian food, so I don't know if it's
That's
really
funny.
bad.
I was watching Good Eats, and there's like a very specific, like super high temperature oven that they use, and
Is that for the non bread?
The tandoori oven thing.
yeah, it's a tandoori oven, and like for flatbread, they just slap it on the side of this oven
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
for the
850
non-bread.
degrees or something like that. Yeah, exactly. And of course, Elton Brown being like, "We can do this at home," and all it took was for him to take a hand grinder, and saw off the top of like a terracotta oven, and it was this whole great
Easy.
like it was this whole like thing to make this giant super duper hot oven, and I'm like, I just want to go to a restaurant.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that seems like a lot of work. So yeah, tiki, same thing.
Go
Just go to a tiki bar.
going
Yeah.
back to
Titty bar too.
What
I
had
can't do
that
that at home.
tiki?
Yeah,
what was that?
titty bar, much harder to do at
Greg,
home.
what was that tiki cocktail beer that we had at EBF?
Oh fuck, dude! Breakside was it?
Yes, Breakside from
And
Portland.
that was like it was like a Belgian golden blonde, or was a Belgian golden strong, aged in rum barrels, like Jamaican rum barrels. And it just said with tiki stuff in it. And I wasn't expecting anything, but upon drinking it, I was like, holy fuck, dude.
It tasted like,
just like a zombie.
Like a zombie from a good bar.
From a good bar.
That's cool.
And I looked around for anybody that I knew that knew tiki. So I ran over to Brad Komanek from Noble. I was like, dude, just put it in front of his nose. He's like, oh. And then I ran over to Evan Price from Green Cheek, previous of Noble, and he was like, whoa.
Who made this beer again?
Breakside. Breakside's legit.
Interesting.
We've done a couple of their beers here. I think
I've
brought some stuff back from when I've been up north with Breakside. But
nice.
It truly was extreme.
It was extreme.
Also, Noble
Extremely
had a
good.
Mountain Dew beer. They had a beer with Mountain Dew Code Red. in
Mountain
it.
Dew Code Red. Oh, dude.
It was good too.
With no hops.
It was really
So
good.
Yeah.
It was extreme.
So extreme.
That's what that. See that's
ramen,
the thing.
What was the other one? The ramen noodle beer.
Oh, that was
I don't think I had that.
Yeah. There
What
was like ramen
someone
noodles.
had like
The
a
cup beer?
hot beer. What was that?
I don't know.
Oh, that was fucking gross. Yeah.
It was like pancake syrup.
Yeah.
Ew.
Where was it? Like, try it. It's hot. And I'm like, no.
No,
And I did, and it was so bad.
And then somebody else had one in a margarita maker machine, or like a, the
Oh, like,
the
like a
Slurpee
slushy
machine.
thing.
Yeah, and we're like, can we have that? They're like, it's not slushy enough yet.
It's still
I'm like,
there.
oh,
Come back.
Was that LA Aleworks? Because I know they do
Yeah.
slushies.
They
No,
weren't
it was
there.
They're not extreme.
Who was
enough.
it? It was
I don't remember.
They were right between like Jackie O's and DeGard.
Yeah.
Jackie O's also had they had that
Weren't
really
Jack
cool.
Hills and DeGard right next to each other?
Yeah.
Maybe they were like right
And
next.
True.
To
They were next to True.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Whoever that was. If that was
True-
you, then let us know.
True was also bumping metal from their booth, like
So
fucking
good.
totally in style. Of
course they were.
That was
Which
awesome.
I
That's
brought you
how they
back a
roll.
button, but I totally forgot it.
Actually, I think the
Aw.
cup beer, the people who did cup beer were the same people that had the margarita.
Was
beer.
it a pentagram button?
Yeah, pentagram
Yeah.
button.
A pentagram with a pint on it?
Nice.
Yeah, but that ramen noodle cup beer thing was fucking real gross.
I liked it. I liked it.
I mean, it tasted like what it said on the tin, but
Hey guys, let's do one more beer.
Hey guys.
I just opened this.
Let's get let's
Oh,
get
hey, guys.
extreme.
Speaking of extreme, we're gonna do Whoomp. There it is, an Imperial Stout versus barrel aged coffee. So apparently, there's some barrel aged coffee in this.
Yeah, the coffee is from Second
Ritz.
Craft, which is I forgot his name. The dude who I guess you could say he started the hopheads in California. Hopheads as a thing is, I mean, it's a thing in other places that it's not like he owns the hophead thing, but
Isn't that the guy that got diabetes and had to walk away from beer?
did he?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
There was somebody that was like a hophead dude that had to quit drinking.
Oh, I quit the hopheads because they're all assholes, but
Oh. All right. Maybe he had the beatus.
but Second Craft is actually really good coffee.
Hey,
he's at the beer fest. Like I think he's usually at the LA Beer Week kickoff fest with cold brew coffee and stuff. So
The Collective Brewing Project was the brewery that did cup beer, and I'm pretty sure that had the margarita beer. They're from Fort Worth,
makes sense.
Texas.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
man, that is like
Smells like coffee.
spicy coffee.
That's a
Yeah,
spicy
for sure.
coffee bowl.
Smells almost like a Mexican hot chocolate
Yeah, it's
coffee
kinda
or
a
Mexican
little bit of
coffee.
Yeah,
cinnamon?
Yeah, I really like baking spice for sure.
Oh, dude, we had that Fremont bee balm with cinnamon at fucking Beer Fest, and that was so good too.
So many good beers, man.
Yeah, it was literally like.
It was a wealth of beers.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I only went because it was free. I was like, "Fuck this fest," but they let us in with 4 brewers, so I was like, "I'll go for free," and it's actually really good.
I would pay to go
I would
to
pay
that.
to go.
I would pay
It was
to go
worth
for
going.
that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely worth every penny.
It was like a mini Firestone Walker.
I walked away happy from that fest. Like I was satisfied.
Oh, man.
it was dope.
For sure.
I had just the right amount of beer. It was perfect length of time. The crowds were,
It was manageable.
except for the bathroom line.
There was lines here and there for special releases, but it was all like I didn't feel like I needed to like pull out my media badge to get to the front. It was like, I'll wait in this line. No big deal.
I cut in line.
Okay.
A lot of times.
Have we
fine.
have we noted
They
that
were
this
fast lines.
have we noted that this beer is called Whoomp? There it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I was just
Come on, y'all. A little louder.
If you look at Untapped, the description for this beer says, "There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the derriere."
Nice.
These 5 words when getting busy. Whoop. There it is. Let me hear you say whoop. It is.
Now, for as
Back,
many,
back when my parents were throwing away my CDs because they were from the devil, this song, and I had a CD of this song as a single.
oh my god,
Was one of the only ones they didn't throw away. And so I would always play it because I was desperate for music. And so kids, be thankful for the internet. And hopefully it won't be ruined by what the FCC
No
just
doubt.
did, because you have access to anything you want to listen to.
It's not even
awesome.
the FCC. It's just ruined by like weird paid trolls. That's like the whole internet now.
Yeah.
Every
Paid
country's been
trolls.
overrun by just paid trolls.
Oh, you heard that episode of Reply All too?
Well, and that's been going on with the Russia thing for fucking a while.
Yeah.
It's all paid trolls. The whole
Yeah.
internet. Twitter, at least. Twitter's dead.
Yeah.
Twitter's like 80% paid trolls and 20% people vehemently responding to paid trolls. And I'm just like, I'm good.
And apparently, like everyone on the news media, like I listen to a lot of like news podcasts, and they're always like, "Oh, well, I was on Twitter, this and Twitter that," and I'm like, "You're the ones who are using Twitter now?" Okay.
Yeah, it's lazy journalists who are like, celebrities are on here and they say stuff and I can easily quote them because it's on the internet. So, yay, Twitter gave me a story today.
I still like Twitter. I hate that Donald Trump is on it. And,
Twitter's dead.
Twitter has become what it is. But Twitter, I mean, that's one of the first social networks I got on in 2007 or 8. And I've met so many people through Twitter.
It was cool
I met
till-
you through Twitter.
It
as
was
a matter
cool
of
till
fact.
I
they
met
let-
Steven through Twitter.
Yeah.
I
It was
mean,
cool till they let the fucking normies in. Now it's fucking bullshit. Twitter's dead.
one thing I like about
I-
Twitter is that it's an actual feed of like stuff in actual order,
Yeah.
and
God damn it. I wish Instagram would
Like
go back.
Instagram?
Jesus Christ.
At least give you a choice. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I would pay to have a linear timeline in Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I love Instagram probably as much as I love Twitter. But having the algorithm thing, it's just so shitty.
bothersome.
Yep.
God, you see a post from 3 days ago, you're like, oh no, it's sold out.
Right.
Yeah, it's like this is not applicable to me anymore.
It's
Thanks.
stupid.
I know.
Cool.
Good thing,
Great
Twitter's, good thing Twitter's dead.
So this beer is pretty damn tasty. I mean, this is really, this is 13%.
13
Holy
and
shit.
some
It's-
change.
I didn't realize it was that
It's a
high.
big coffee beer.
I was gonna say, like, a lot of people associate Noble with doing IPAs, but Hello Naughty Sauce and Man's Milk and
Man's Milk
all
I
the
had
other
that when we picked this up.
stouts that they make that are just insanely good.
This on Nitro, I think, would be really cool too. Like,
I mean, did they Naughty Sauce? I feel like that whole golden stout category, that was really one of the first beers to make notes there.
Yeah, Chapman does one called Early Riser that they use. It's got the same. I don't know if it's a blonde beer, but it's a lighter colored beer. They don't like necessarily call it a blonde beer, I don't think, but I think they switch up the coffee in it from batch to batch, which is cool.
Well, it tastes great.
Yeah, this is insane.
yeah.
It's
And
got
for
all
being,
the ABVs, and you don't even notice.
I mean, do you smell booze on this? I just
No,
smell coffee.
not at all.
just coffee.
It doesn't burn going down. I mean, they hid the booze quite
It's so
well.
roasty. It's like campfirey,
I'm not getting any smoke though.
kind of.
Yeah, it's
Cracker
roasty,
Jacky.
not smoky.
Mm-hmm. Cracker Jacky.
Because I'm on record as not being a fan of smoke flavor.
Okay.
Weirdly, I like smoked meats, but I don't like smoked beverages.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells kind of like braised.
What the fuck,
meats
Jason?
or
I mean, I
bacon.
like cheese on food. I don't like cheese in beverages. Some flavors aren't made for beverages.
Yeah, whatever.
Ew.
No.
Actually, speaking of cheese as a beverage, a friend of mine,
Drinks cheese for breakfast.
a friend of mine posted a
Nacho
video. She was at this place in some fancy cheese themed place in New York, and they roll like a big ass cheese wheel out, and somehow the middle of it's heated, and then they just like
Raclette.
yes, they just like scoop out the like gooey cheese. I
Yeah,
was
they scrape it off onto your food.
I was
It's,
like,
it's a
what
French
is-
thing.
I was
Yeah.
like, that looks like fucking magic.
Yeah.
It is magic.
And yeah, so if anyone knows of a raclette place around here, let me
There's
know.
I saw there's Culinary Underground. This chick who's doing stuff like at breweries. She did like a taco pop up and stuff like that. She's doing a raclette. God,
Nice.
if I could tell you what the brewery was, maybe Barley Forge.
All right. Let me know. Anybody, if you guys have any cheese themed events, cheese news, and cheese updates, just send them my way.
And hot sauce.
There's got to be cheese news somewhere. Speaking of which, I brought the
And cheese nudes.
I brought the
Send-
Beechwood. I brought the Beechwood barbecue hot sauce.
I brought some hot sauce too with hops in it.
Send
Nice.
cheese nudes.
That's at the Center Street Cheese Shop.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
it's with Rip Beer.
With Rip, yes.
And Unsung,
cool.
but it's sold out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Right on. Really great beers, guys.
Yeah, insane.
Thanks again to Chapman for hooking us up with those beers. That was really great. If you want to find Four Brewers online.
And Noble, they hooked us up also.
Oh, cool.
Thank you to Noble.
If you want to find Four Brewers online, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. You can find all the information on fourbrewers.com. Go to fourbrewers.com/YouTube to see all of our sticky, icky video content. Go to fourbrewers.com/live if you want to hang out with us while we are recording the show. Go to what else? What else we got? Go to patreon.com/fourbrewers if you want to donate to the show. They're not going to charge you now.
Yeah, really quick. There was this for a week. Patreon was changing their payment structure for fees and all that.
They changed it back because people got mad.
If you heard about that and you were pissed, well, don't be pissed because they reversed it. So they're not doing that now. So carry on.
And then go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star rating because it helps us in the rankings and it helps people discover the show. And if you want to get in touch with us directly, hit us up at feedback@fourbrewers.com and brew the shit out of it.
Yep. Okay, the pizza's supposed to be here at 12:30. It's 12:22. What do you want to do?
I got all day. So
Usually they're pretty accurate. Let me see. Check the order tracker. It's on the way. It's on the way, guys. Hey, Jason, can you please stop that? Thanks, man. That's really fucking annoying.
Does that mean I should smirk and then do it louder?
No, it means you should stop.
Oh, weird. Is that how-
If it were me, I would smirk and do it louder. But if it's you, you should just stop.
Yeah, we can wait 8 minutes and then eat pizza. It's fine. Pizza's supposed to be here in 8 minutes.
Wow. Oh, I used loyalty points and saved $15 on this delivery. Yeah. You get points every time we order pizza.
Oh, okay. I had pizza for dinner, so I brought some Del.
Greg's over here like pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening.
Pizza at supper time.
Just like I had pizza like the last 3 days.
I haven't had pizza since our last session. You guys, I've lost 40 pounds.
40 pounds.
40 fucking pounds as of
Congratulations.
this morning.
Potatoes. Rats, man.
I have like 15 more to go. It's going to be hard. So we're going to put some music on, and we'll be back probably in 20 minutes, hopefully, or so. So let's see.